going over some low passing details dealing with the closed guard, butterfly guard, and other types of guards in which we would play our low pass game on both knees or one knee. So with that, there's going to be times that we stand up, there's going to be times that we open the guard, there's going to be times the guard is already open, like in the case of a double butterfly. So we're going to be going over some details of posturing the guard, ways to break, and expanding out from there. So first I'm going to detail some postural details in the guard for you to kind of overview and tie into all your guard breaking. After that, we'll get into guard breaking. Okay, so Michael's on his back. So first, let's talk about my base. I have the triangle base, right? So what I want to do is I want to set my hands in place, right? So I'm going to put this hand here on the hip, and I'll put this hand up here in the knee, and that can be opposite sides as well. What I do is I hold my hand up, I lever my elbow down. That way if he reaches up and grabs this hand and pulls it, it pulls into his own shin. Okay? I want my head up and my back straight. I'm going to be doing a pelvic tuck and slightly pinching my knees around his hips. On the knee pinch, if my legs start to quiver, it's too much. Okay? So I push his hip down in that pocket there, this crest. I'm here on the back of his shin and the inside of his thigh. Here's that on that side. I don't want to get my elbow that's running up from his hip too far on the inside or too far on the outside. This could be a Kimura or an omoplata. This could be a triangle. Okay? So all he has to do is run his shin over my arm to kind of trap that against my body. Right? And that's all he needs to be able to get the triangle. So here, I don't have my pelvic tuck. You see how my hips are kind of hanging over my heels in like a seiza type position. So I'm going to push hip, push knee, lightly pinch the knees. I'm going to curl my hips up underneath me with a pelvic tuck, right? A good friend of mine, Jack Toffer, says hide the J-Lo booty, right? So that area of my hips hanging over, we're going to hide that. So here, I'm going to roll my hips up, head is up, back is straight. When I do this, my posture of my back is going to change right there. Now I can go over into starting my low pass game by opening his guard, okay? A lot of times, guys, just getting my posture correct opens his guard. Right there. I didn't really push with my knees and hips. I set an infrastructure. I expand space inside of his closed guard. This here is about all the space that he has. There's not a whole lot of space anywhere but behind. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push his hips down, set all my hand placement details, the knees, and expand inside of his guard by doing that pelvic tuck. And that a lot of times will cause his guard to open with what we just call the posture break. Right? So there's going to be types of breaks where I'm postured. There's going to be types of breaks where I'm stacking. Right? I might stack here. There are other ways that I'll stack as well. Okay? So that's some details on our posture in the guard. This is the knee push break. Right? So we get our details. We're pushing the hip down, being sure our arm is not too far inside or outside. We're going to set this elbow on behind his shin, pointing my hand up, or I can drape it over. The important thing is, if he grabs that sleeve to pull, is that my arm is getting pulled into his leg instead of off. So here I'm pinching the knees lightly, so that they don't lightly enough so that they don't quiver. If I start feeling some trembling or instability in my leg, I need to let off a little bit. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this knee down, and I'm going to curl my hips up at the same time. It's going to, that good posture and a little bit of pressure here is going to open that guard. Sometimes posture will open the guard, but sometimes we need to add that little bit of a knee push. So we call this our knee push break. Right there, I'm going to push it down. When I go over to pass, I want to trap this with my elbow. The reason I do that is so he doesn't bring his shin across. Also, here, this point, I have the prayer feet, and these will be some details on our windshield wiper pass. If he starts hip escaping, I follow him. I'm just connected to him. So if he moves, I'm moving with him. While he's doing that, I'll be setting up my pass. Okay? So that's just some really good details as I picked up over the years on posture and guard. I think posture and guard and that guard break is the #1 break everybody learns at white belt. And then I think that a lot of times details can be missed. So that's was probably 8 years in the game when I learned to do it that exact way with kind of those details. Great person to check out on posture and guard details would be Jack Tolfer. You hear him, me mention him in some of our videos. He's a fantastic black belt. He's from Southern California. He's a great friend of mine. He's trained a lot with Rickson Gracie and Dave Kama over the years. He's got a series on YouTube called BJJ versus Cancer. He's also got some other videos out as well on Buddha videos and on his academy and his personal YouTube page. So check out Jack Tolfer for some additional fantastic details on posture and guard, and then, you know, dealing with someone having good posture. What's up, guys? Back here going over some guard breaks for a low passing section. Now, if you break the guard, doesn't mean you can't stand up and start to do your standing pass game or your all-fours pass game if that's what you prefer. But we'll be doing our guard break study to kind of deal with closed guard and start out branching out with our low passes and our knee slide, slider top passes and back steps, things of that nature as we move forward. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to push down here and set my infrastructure, but say Michael's got a really good guard and I'm not able to open it with my posture and my knee push break. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make my knees wide. A lot of times people will move this in the center and then go wide. The disadvantage of that is I can get swept. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that down and I'm going to go wide first. From here, I'm going to bring this knee to the center and I'm going to shuffle my knee out at the same time. So my base is here, about Michael's hips apart. I go wide, and when I bring my knee to the center, I go wide again, right? So I'm wide, then I'm kind of normal, and then I'm wide again. I call that a shuffle knee. I was breaking it down slow. When I do this too, I want to keep his hip back over here. So I go wide, and then I'm going to do my shuffle knee where I go knee to the center and wide again. Here. Now from this, guys, we can come up and do the same side knee across his legs, or we can come up in a combat base and do cross knee. Or I can go knee this way. Slider pass, windshield wiper pass, back step pass. There's different passes that we cover in the system where the knee being up is going to kind of dictate which side you go and with which pass you go with. Even off of individual breaks. So I might do that off the knee push break. The advantageous thing about this is when I have my knee up, it's going to be very hard for Michael to close his guard back. Right? There's not a lot of space in there to do that. So I can start working my pass. Okay, so one more time on the knee in the center pass. Okay, I'm here. Set my infrastructure. I go wide, narrow, wide. Then I'm working my pass game. And we're going to do a standing posture break. There's times when you're going to be standing and you're not necessarily doing a standing pass, you're dropping back into that low pass game. And that's what we're going to be kind of doing in this block of information on low passes. So Michael has me in his closed guard. Okay, now I was first taught to do this in a 2-on-1, and I'm an advocate of that. I actually just switched to a single lapel or a single sleeve grip with most of what I do. Okay, so I like to do same side, and then I will also do cross side. Not that this isn't totally beneficial, but sometimes standing up with two hands on one arm, you can't get swept. Okay, so if I stood up and I had to cross, I could break this leg down with kind of a knee push break. It'll drop back into a low pass, and that'll be kind of the scenario that we're going to deal with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have here, I'm going to put the knee up on the side that I have his arm on. Now you see a lot of people, they go to do this, they have this, and they pitch their weight forward. Okay, that's when he's going to break your posture. Right? He's going to bring his knees to his chest when I do that, and I'm going to lose both my knees came off the mat in that instance. Right? So what I want to do is try and keep my head up and go here. That lifts his hips up. Now, I'm going to turn. What I do with this other leg is what I call live toes. Okay? So as I stand up, I'm going to drive my weight back and kind of turn all at the same time. Here. Now that opened his guard, and it will open his guard a lot. At this point, I can switch the sleeve and go there, or we can go down into a knee slide type pass. So let's do that one more time. Same side. I want to stand up on that same side so he can't go under my leg. If I stand up this side, he goes under my leg. And he's already starting to do his attacks and set up his offense, okay? Here, keep your posture, raise up, go live toe in the back with my left foot. I'm gonna stand up and turn, here, switch the sleeve, and I can pass. Okay, so that is our standing guard break. Very, very functional way to get the guard open and to go ahead and kind of start forcing situations to happen. You can drop back down to low pass, you can do some standing passes, even all fours passes. So we kind of encompass our whole guard pass game when we do our standing break. Okay guys, I'm going to be reviewing the re-posture in the guard. Sometimes we can't always posture and break. How are we going to get our posture if it's hard? What Michael's going to do in this situation, he'll have a cross collar grip. And I used to always pull up against that. And over time, I feel like started to hurt my neck and weaken some of the muscles in my posterior chain and things that keep me training. So we're going to do a continuum here. It's this concept arm from Jack Toffer, and it is an idea where we do we can't posture, so we stack them. And we stack them exclusively to re-posture, right? So I'm going to be in Michael's guard, and Michael's going to have his collar here, and he's pulling down. So for a long time, I was just madly, you know, and there's grip breaks and things that we need to know and how to do this. But when people are pulling down, I want to go with it. So let's say I have, you know, some posture I'm trying to get, and he starts pulling down, he's got a good grip, so I'm going to come up, right? Now once I come up, I can hold the head, I can hold the lapel, I put my hands on the mat, right? You obviously know that they may be attacking with arm bars and sweeps, and there's, when we get into our stack breaks and our stack passing, we'll overview some details from here, and there'll be a video on that. But what I need to do now is he's got a good guard around me, he's got his grip, but his grip can't be a pulling grip anymore. If I put my knees straight down, I'm going to have posture. Right? So, I can't get posture. I'm in that middle phase. I'm trying to achieve it, but he's strong and he's pulling against my neck. So, he pulls down, I'm going to go down. So now I go down to the point where it's like he can't leg press, he can't pull. He's got this hand on the mat on the side, he's got my collar. I'm going to put my knees down and re-posture. Go into my low pass series. Whatever that pass is you like to do, you're going to do it in that instant. Okay? So that is some different takes on posture and passing with posture. If we can't obtain posture, we stack to re-posture. Really neat concepts. Review your posture and guard details and review your re-posture. That's going to help you get those posture breaks. If you're in the closed guard, you have to open it before you can pass. You've got to study your breaks in order to do that. Don't skip ahead to your passes. Get your details correct. Closed guard's a dangerous thing. MMA, self-defense, on the mat, sports jiu-jitsu, in the academy, need to be studying and preparing for it. Okay?